Alright, so this annotated bibliography is going to focus on Shakespeare and where you can find some information at. So when we apply this to the lesson and with your research project, we'll have to look up information, be able to cite some sources credibly. I have a list of 6 different sites that you can look at for all different information. So let's go to the top here. So this first website, I can open it for you. The first website here is BBC History. Now it's going to talk about William Shakespeare, particularly his life. What's cool, however, is that there's a whole bunch of different related BBC links that could help you with other information going on in the time period. And we talk about, his influence from Elizabeth. Okay, so you can use that website there. Okay, our second one is also going to be about his life. Oh, sorry. This is going to be about the particular plays that he has. So with the different plays, it's actually kind of cool how it's broken down into the different types of categories here you can see. And then let's just go into one that we're looking at. What's cool about this is that it's going to break down each one of those plays. So you can go into Act 1, Scene 1, Act 2, Scene 2, those types of things. If you're focusing on when we get to presenting the part of the play that you want to, this is going to be right here where you'll be able to break down. This is also going to be really handy for you if you forget your book at home. So remember this site. If you were to ever forget your book at home, it's got the whole play on there. Okay? Alright, the third one kind of addresses this idea that you guys have been talking about in class about was it really Shakespeare that created all this, or, did he just plagiarize from somebody? So this is a New York Times article by Stephen March, and it's basically looking at this movie that came out. It's called Anonymous, and it might be a movie you want to watch just so you can kind of get a taste of what what our culture and our time period kind of thinks of this Shakespeare stuff. But Stephen actually talks about particular plays, and you need to go down. There's some pictures here too. But talks about particular plays and how with those plays here you can see where we mentioned A Midsummer Night's Dream, how those plays really are from Shakespeare, talking about writing a blueprint and those types of things. And then at the end, you can kind of see his big overall conclusion here. This idea of it's kind of sad that we have to think about Shakespeare not being real as like a man on the moon situation, where it's all conspiracy. So it's a really pretty funny article, actually. So you can read through that and kind of see maybe that's something you want to put in your presentation. Okay, our next one here. Hey, this is an amazing website. I was actually really, really surprised to see all this. So, I'm going to make this so you can kind of see my screen over here. What I'm really interested in with this is that you can actually look up different lines and search different lines right here in this text search box. You can search different lines and it'll bring up which character said it and also what play it's from. Another cool thing is you can see here, you've got characters, all these characters here. We can click on any character to see that character's speech. So if we think about Helena and how crazy she is, here's all of your Helena lines. So if you're going to act out Helena, you won't have to worry about where it's coming from. Okay? You'll be able to just print it all off right here. Okay, so keep this one in mind for when we actually do get to the scenes. But if you do click on the scenes, very similar to the other website, it'll give you exactly, person by person, page by page, the entire act and scene. Alright, so our next one here. This is a performing arts website, so they're very, very in-depth on Shakespeare's life. So this is going to work well with your presentation. If you notice over here, you've got all sorts of Shakespeare information. So podcasts and recordings. In here, I know they have some stuff having to do with reading Shakespeare, but also you've got some experts talking about Shakespeare, his publications, random facts, his whole collection, things that were published, the theater itself, which we haven't had a website yet that talks about the theater, so that might be where you want to get stuff here. The one that I linked to you is his life, because I know that we've talked about his life a little bit, talking about the London Theater, those types of things. But it is really reliable information. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff right over here that you can use. And then our last website here. Okay, so this is also the life of William Shakespeare. And I know I gave you a lot of information on that, but it's because of the links that are over here that I really like this. So this actually breaks down iambic pentameter, which I know some of you struggle with understanding, so that would be a great source for that. You've got Elizabethan theater, the age, so you'll be able to comprehend this as a whole, more of like a culture rather than just his life, because I gave you a lot of websites on just his life information. It's going to be more about these things in here that I'm really going to help you with. So if you look at iambic pentameter, I mean, it's got a whole bunch of information there for you and an example down here, so you can kind of hear where that stressed and unstressed syllable actually happens. Alright, overall I'll be attaching this annotated bibliography for you guys to be able to use and take home and kind of mold as we go along with this Shakespeare unit. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to email me, and I will